welcome back. Today I'm going to be going over the sales in my resale business from the week of July 14th through July 20th. And I was $5 shy, I think $5 from being the second best week ever again. I tell you, July was great. I keep repeating that phrase, second best week ever, over and over again because the weeks keep beating each other out. And half of the sales that I'm going to share with you today happened while my family was on a 5-day vacation. So that was really nice. But the week we came back, that week was pretty slim on sales. So while my sales didn't suffer while I was on vacation, the following week sales went down. I did take the advice of some other resellers on how to prepare for when you're going to be away. And I do think that it helped, and I'll be sharing that with you in the next video. And I also took some notes of things that I need to do better so that my sales don't go down next time we go out of town. But they're already starting to pick up. It's fine. And I think that information will be helpful for you when you go out of town. So if you want to make sure that you see that one, it's going to be the next one I put out. Make sure that you're subscribed. Make sure you hit the bell icon. And doing those two things tells YouTube that you want to be notified when I release a new video. And while you're clicking around down there, if you don't mind, would you please hit that like button? I am so close to hitting my goal of being monetized on YouTube. And I know that just broke all the rules of what you're supposed to do as a content creator on YouTube. You're not really supposed to ask your audience for help, but I just think that's crazy. I think people want to help people out. So if you're looking for a free way to help this channel grow, liking and subscribing is it. And thank you so much. All right, so all of that's gonna be in the next video, but today I've got 17 sales to go over with you. So let's get started. If you're new here, hi, I'm Jenny. I am an online clothing reseller. So what that means, the way that I do it is I go to thrift stores. I buy inexpensive but high quality clothes. I flip them on eBay and Poshmark for a profit. And at least once a week I come on YouTube to share with you what is selling in real time in my business, share with you what the listing looked like, what I paid for the item, and at the end I'll break down the profits. Okay, so the first item is something that I might not pick up again. I didn't even run the comps in the store because I saw that this was silk. It was made in Italy and it had like a cottagecore vibe to it. It was really cute. And so I was like, yeah, this is great. It's only $2.41. Let's throw it in the cart. But I pulled up the comps. I'll show you that in just a second. And it does not have good comp information at all. I should have ran the comps in the store. I did make a profit on it, so maybe it was worth it, but it was just surprising how low the comps were. So I titled it Luisa Ricci, I guess is how you say that, women's medium Italian silk flutter sleeve, floral top, bubble hem, fairy. I paid $2.41 for it. It took 241 days to sell. I listed it for only $19. I thought I would be listing it for much higher, but after I ran the comps, I knew that if I didn't want it to sit in my inventory forever, I was going to have to price accordingly. And still, it took 241 days to sell. And it did sell at full price, so let's celebrate that for a second. Full price was $19, and that gave me a profit of $12.97. So not terrible, just not what I expected. Okay, here's the comps on this piece. I typed in Luisa Ricci silk top. And if you're not used to looking at this research section of eBay, let me explain to you what you're looking at. And I'm not going to go through this on every single item, but if you like looking at this and you do want to see more of me sharing this comp information with you as I go through my sales, let me know and I'll incorporate this more. So as you can see, I have this set on what has happened in the last 90 days. If you want all the information that eBay will show you, it's got to be set to 90 days, 30 days, or 7 days. If you go higher than 90 days, it doesn't show you all the information. So when I'm running comps, I look at 90 days. So if you go down here, I'm going to start over here. It says 5 sellers have sold something in the last 90 days that has had these 4 words in the title. So only 5 sellers. The sell-through rate right here, 6.02. That's 6% of the total items that had Luisa Ricci silk and top in the title only 6% of them have sold. I'm gonna skip over those two columns. The sold price ranged from $7.25 to $19. That $19 was mine. The average sold price was $13.67. So if you look here, in the last 3 months, in the middle of summer when silk is supposed to be selling, it doesn't look very good. I don't know why. If you guys know why Louisa Ricci does not sell well, let me know. But there's your information. And that's kind of a little bit of what I do look at when I'm trying to decide, should I pick it up in the store? And then when I get home, what am I going to price it at? This column right here is what each one has sold for. So mine actually sold the highest. So I guess that's a reason to celebrate too. Okay, next. This one my sister gave to me. I titled it Japna, not Japan, Japna Floral Maxi Dress, Blue Women's Medium, Boho, Smocked Sundress, Sleeveless V-neck. Here's your Japna tag. So I had no money into this thanks to my sister. I listed it for $25, and 12 days later, I offered someone $21.25. They accepted. That gave me a profit of $17.96. Next, this is the second time you guys have seen this one. This is from the same haul that y'all hear me mention every single video because stuff keeps selling out of it. So real quick, I happened to find a sale that I didn't even mean to go to and ended up coming home with 52 mostly formal dresses for $50. I threw some of them away. They were damaged. I don't remember exactly how many I kept, but when I averaged out the price, I basically paid $1.25 for each dress. This was Jessica McClintock Gunny Sacks vintage dress. I paid $1.25 for it. And this is the second time it sold. The first time it sold, it was only listed for a day, and I think it was a day. It was really quick, and someone paid $80 for it, and afterwards I was like, I probably shouldn't have taken $80 for it, but I was so excited and I just accepted the offer. She messaged me when she got it and said, it doesn't fit, it's beautiful, but it doesn't fit. So she sent it back, we did the return. And then this time it was listed for 36 days and I received a $149 offer. Super excited about that, but I was even more excited when I saw that was an international sale. Oh my gosh. Okay, never mind. So my little setup here, I have my phone right here recording my face, and then I do a screen recording so that it records what is on my screen where you can see eBay and everything. I looked down for a second and I thought my computer was not screen recording. So minor little freak out. Let me get some water. I don't even know where I was. Okay, I think I was saying, okay, this was an international sale. So for those of you who don't know, when you sell something through the international shipping program, you don't ship it straight to Australia, which is where this one went to. You ship it to like a shipping hub in the US, and then they ship it over there. And when something sells through the international shipping program, they can't return it. Maybe they can return it, and eBay handles all of that. You're not going to have to deal with a return and refunding somebody. So I knew when I saw this one was going internationally, the $149 sale was going to stick. So that was even more exciting. I listed it for $149. Oh, I said earlier $149 offer. That's not right. I listed it for $149. I sent someone an offer for $123.67 and they accepted. That gave me $106.75 profit. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And y'all, I don't even think I had ever sold a single formal before that haul that I happened upon. And this dress was the reason that I asked about it, and I just asked how much for the dresses. And the man said, well, you can do $50 for one, or you can do $50 for all of them. And now thinking back and seeing the results of that, it was definitely a no-brainer. I should have just snagged it up right away. But I walked around for another 30 minutes thinking about if I even wanted to do that. And part of it was just because formals are intimidating. Do you feel like formals are intimidating? Raise your hand if you feel like formals are intimidating. But I feel like just from the few that I've sold from this, I've gained so much knowledge and they're so fun. And it doesn't have to be formal season, apparently. Like, I was thinking these would only sell during like prom season, but I'm selling like 1 or 2 a week and it's blowing my mind. And so I love formals. I'm sure I'll be doing more of them. Do you do formals? Let me know. Oh, and I didn't flip through the pictures or tell you what I titled it. Y'all have already seen it, but for those of you who didn't see the other video when it sold for $80, let's go through these. I titled it Gunny Sack's Classic Black Satin Evening Gown. 3 was the size. Jessica McClintock Vintage Formal. All right, next. I titled it Disneyland Resort, Walt Disney World, Extra Large Glitter Pink Movie Reel Mickey Tink. So I bought this t-shirt for $2.29 and I listed it for $19.50. I offered someone $17.64. They accepted. That gave me a profit of $12.66. Next is Zara. I thought about keeping this one for myself. It sold in 1 day. I titled it Zara Artsy, but apparently I misspelled artsy. Dress shirt, women's extra large, navy blue poplin, pleated, puff sleeve, oversized. I bought it for $2.50. I listed it for $27. I offered someone $24.30. They accepted. That gave me a profit of $18.20. All right, next, Sonoma tiered maxi dress. Pockets, women extra large, floral, peasant, peach, boho, hippie, farm. I'm really not sure how cottagecore didn't end up in my title. Must have skipped over that one because I love anything cottagecore and I love using that word. This one was listed for 33 days. I bought it for $3.15. I priced it at $33. I offered someone $29.70. She accepted. That gave me a profit of $23.55. Next, vintage Y2K Abercrombie & Fitch t-shirt, muscle, men's blue 1990s panther cat. I really didn't know what animal this was. It didn't have spots, so I didn't put jaguar or leopard, but I put panther and cat and we rolled with it. It was listed for 25 days. I bought it for 58 cents. I listed it for 35 and someone paid full price. Yay! That gave me a profit of $29.30. Next, segments long sleeve base layer t-shirt. Women's extra large merino wool top, maroon flaw. Here's the flaw that I'm showing. This is one of those tops I think I talked about last week where it feels like a t-shirt, but it's made out of wool. And anytime you see that, where it just feels like a t-shirt, but it's made out of wool, you need to look it up. You're probably going to want to get it. This one was listed for 110 days. I paid $2.94 for it. I listed it for $29. I offered someone $24. When they accepted, I got a profit of $18.26. Next, this one took a while, 384 days. I just thought it was the cutest thing. It sat through the warmer months last year. I relisted it during the warmer months this year, and it sold not super fast though. I titled it Feminine Pink Ruffle Dress, Women 10 Faux Wrap Midi Flowy Fairy, Alex Marie Barbie. Everybody says the Barbie phase is over, but I needed more words, so I threw Barbie in there. I paid $3. I listed it for $35, and someone did come in and buy it at that full price. I had a lot of full price sales this week. That gave me a profit of $26.15. Next, Ralph Lauren Quiet Luxury Top, women's large, 63% silk, cream, minimalist, ivory. This was listed for 32 days. I paid 59 cents for it. I listed it for 39. Someone offered me 25 and I accepted. That gave me a profit of $20.91. This one came from my niece, I think. I thought it was from Lindy, but now that I'm seeing it was a size 8, it might come from her mom, who's my sister, Stacy. Either way, thanks guys. It was Free People cropped denim trucker jacket, women 8, jean medium wash, blue cowgirl. I had no money into it. I listed it for $30, and when I was running my tiered weekend sale, it was on 10% off, and someone snagged it up at $27. That gave me a profit of $22.23. Next, this one sold while we were at the beach, so I thought that was pretty cool. Seashell Sweatshirt while we're at the beach. It had sat for 111 days, but it's one of my favorite ones to find. I don't find it a whole lot. This is fresh produce. Do you find fresh produce in your area? I titled it Fresh Produce Beachy Sweatshirt, pink, women large, shells, USA, because it's made in the USA. Comfy, lounge, cozy, bright. I bought it for $3.99. I listed it for $38. It was part of the weekend sale. They got it for 15% off. So that was $32.30 that they paid for this sweatshirt. That gave me a profit of $23.22. Next is J. Jill Women Large Luxe Supima Boat Neck Tee. Love it when they got the title right there on the tag for you. Long sleeve black floral casual stretch. This was basically just like a little bit thicker stretchy t-shirt material. It sat for 165 days. I paid 72 cents for it. I listed it for 25. It was on the weekend sale and it was 20% off, and so they snagged it up at $19.99. That gave me a profit of $16.15. Next, this one is an interesting sale. Let me go over the title of it and then I'll tell you about it. So I titled it Louis Vuitton Vintage Playing Card, Lucky Number 4 of Hearts with magnetic holder. Okay, so I've shared with you guys, my 14-year-old twin boys have recently discovered the joys of Whatnot. I'm trying to get excited about it and maybe do a few Whatnot sales, but I just haven't wrapped my mind around it yet. But they love it. They sell mostly basketball cards, some baseball and football, and they love it. They have listed on eBay before. In fact, Lincoln sold a $20 Steph Curry card this past weekend. But he would much rather get on Whatnot and sell 20 items at $1 than to sell one item on eBay for $20. That's just what they like. They like, I don't know, they may change their mind about that, but they really are enjoying it. I'm really proud of them. I even went and got them their own bank accounts this week so that they can have that money deposited directly into them, and they're loving it. So one thing about Whatnot is lots of sellers do giveaways, and they do the giveaways to get people to come to the shows. And then there's something even cooler that you can do from a seller's perspective that I'll keep in mind if I do ever venture over there, is they do a buyer's giveaway. So a giveaway, you just hit a button, you follow them, you hit a button, you get entered into the giveaway, and it randomly, like Whatnot has this random counter thing that spins and picks the winner at random. You don't even have to do it. But the buyer's giveaway is any person who buys from that show that you're doing gets entered into that giveaway. So for those, they usually do a little bit of a higher valued item. So those are kind of neat too. But Lincoln and Jake win so many giveaways. They don't really buy that much on Whatnot. These are like free giveaways. They have gotten 100 cards each probably in giveaways. Maybe not that many. Maybe that's exaggerating. But every day we're bringing in handfuls of mail because of these giveaways that they're winning. So one day they were just like, Mom, let's see if you can win a giveaway. And I was like, okay, but I don't want a card. I want to win something that I can use for my business. So we went into somebody that was selling clothes, and lo and behold, I won their giveaway. And this is what they were giving away. I didn't know. Sometimes you know what the giveaway is and sometimes you don't. So I didn't know what it was till I actually got it. So the boys were excited because they said, man, that's in a mag. That mag is worth $5 by itself. So apparently that magnetic holder that it's in, it's called a mag, and they do sports cards in those, and apparently those are cool. So But the card is a legit vintage Louis Vuitton playing card, just one card out of a set. So I was like, okay, let me try to sell that. So when I ran the comps, they were selling well if you had the King of Hearts or the Queen of Hearts. But no, I don't think anybody had sold a 4. So I thought, lucky number 4. There's somebody out there who likes Louis Vuitton and their lucky number is 4. We're going to do this. So that's how I titled it, Lucky Number 4 of Hearts. And it did give me a little bit of a profit on something I spent no money on. So what, that's cool. One day I'll venture into that. They're doing great on it and I'm so proud of them. Do you guys sell on Whatnot? Tell me if you do. All right, so this one sat for just 68 days, not bad. I listed it for $15. It was part of the weekend sale. It was 15% off. They got it for $12.75. That gave me a profit of $10.32. Not bad for something free. Next, this one sold in 249 days. Vintage Y2K size 9 beaded floral midi skirt. Fairy Whimsy Goth maroon red. LaBelle was the brand. I just got lots of close-up of the detailed beading, the little stitch work, lace work, I don't even know what you call that. Here's your tag, obvious vintage tag. It was also made in the USA. I'm sure I put that somewhere in the description. I paid $2.15 for it. I listed it based off of comps for $49.55. And if I had priced it lower, I'm sure it wouldn't have taken 249 days to sell. But I think it's pretty cool that stuff like this sells as high as it did. I offered someone $33.15, and that gave me a profit of $25.69. Next, another formal that was not from that haul, but I told you now that I've had the experience with those formals, I have a little bit more confidence about it. So when I saw this at a thrift store for $4, I was like, this is beautiful, I'm picking it up. And I'm glad I did. It sold in just 21 days. It didn't even have a brand tag on it, I don't think. Let's look through these pictures. I titled this Beaded Pale Pink Silk Midi Formal Dress, Women's Large, Strappy, Boho, Leaf Evening Gown. It was just beautiful. And again, these formals would not look near as good hanging on a hanger. I'm so thankful that I broke down and got the Mannequin. So I listed it for $75. I offered someone $63.75. They accepted. That gave me a profit of $51.17. Okay, the last sale of the week was this Pretty Angel Artsy Ruffle dress, tunic top, women's medium, baggy, A-line, sleeveless, fairy. I love finding Pretty Angel, not because it sells for a ton, but because the pieces always just look so interesting and they're just fun to sell. This one sat for 87 days. I paid $6.99 for it. I listed it for $33, and I offered someone $30. They accepted. That gave me a profit of $17 and a penny. Before I get to the breakdown of the profits for this week, I have your question, and I'm going to play off the question from last week. So last week I asked you guys to fill in the blank. If blank sold for a lot of money, I would be a wealthy reseller. And I got some great feedback from you guys. So what I've decided to do is take these things that you guys said and do some research and find out if we are missing profits by skipping over those brands, because someone named one or two, three actually. There were 3 named that I actually used to skip over that now is a pretty good chunk of my profits. So I'm going to read to you guys the answers from last week, and I want you to add to that so that I can do even more research for you guys and help us all, because I'm going to learn through doing the research too, to become better sourcers. I think this is so exciting. So what I wanted you to fill in the blank with was one of 2 things, or something else if you can think of something else. But the 2 categories I could think of are an item itself, like a type of item, or a brand. Everybody said a brand name because we all have those brand names that we barely even look at or just scroll right by when we see it on the racks. So everyone named a brand, and I told you I wasn't going to share mine with you because someone would name it and they didn't. So I'll share my brand with you. So the other thing that you can fill in the blank with, if blank sold for a lot of money, I would be a wealthy reseller, is a type of item. So something that you see in the thrift store a lot that you don't ever pick up. So coffee cups like that. I know there's coffee cups out there that do sell for a lot, but every thrift store has a ton of coffee cups and they're cheap. So it would be great if they all sold for a lot of money. So you can tell me an item or you can tell me a brand. So the brand for me would have been Faded Glory. Now, I say that knowing that vintage Faded Glory can go for pretty good money if it's the right style. But Faded Glory would have been what I would have filled in that blank with. Here's what the rest of you guys said. Ann Taylor, just straight up Ann Taylor. Someone else said Loft. I agree. Cato, Time and True, Old Navy, Gloria Vanderbilt, that purple tag in the jeans section that you see, like half of the jeans are Gloria Vanderbilt, Banana Republic, and Shein. Is that how you say it? Shein? I don't know, but you know what I'm talking about. So if you can add to that, I want to hear what you would fill in the blank with, and I'm going to gather those up and I'm going to do the research to help us become better sourcers. But because I bet you most of those have hidden gems within them that I would flip over just because of the tag. So that's your question today. If you got anything else to add to that conversation, I want to hear from you before I do that research. All right, let's talk about profits. Okay, so for my total from the week of July 14th through July 20th, I sold a total of 17 items. 15 sold on eBay, 2 on Poshmark. Okay, so the total that my customers paid this week for the item plus the shipping on these 17 items was $698. The fees that I had to pay to Poshmark and eBay was $101.49. The price that I had to pay to ship all this stuff was $108.37. The cost of all of this stuff to me when I initially bought it in the thrift store added up to just $36.56. And that's part of the reason that my profit was so high, was because my cost of good was so low this week. So that brings my profit for this week to $452.50. So July was my best month ever. So for 3 weeks in a row, I profited like right at $450 each week. And then we came back from vacation, and because I did little to no work on vacation, because it was vacation, who wants to do work on their vacation? And if I had it to do all over again, I still wouldn't do work on my vacation, but I would prepare differently, because in next week's video, I don't have very many sales to share with you because I didn't do any work on my vacation. But I do think that there's some things that I could have done differently to help that dip, maybe not dip at all, or not be as big. So I am going to get that information together for you, and you'll see that in my next video. So make sure that you're subscribed and hit the bell icon, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.